Hello, and today I'm here reviewing On the Banks of Plum Creek by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And this is the book series that ended up becoming the TV show Little House on the Prairie. There's also a lot in the books that is completely different from the TV show. First of all, we see that Caroline is a little bit racist towards Indians or Native Americans. She doesn't really like them, and although her husband Charles seems to say there's good and bad in every race, and there are good Indians out there, she has a hard time believing it. So this takes place after they basically get kicked off of the Indian Territory by the government, and they end up on Plum Creek in Walnut Grove, and that's where Little House on the Prairie is supposed to take place. So in this one, Charles basically trades to get them a sod house, which is basically just like a house that's like been built into the ground of a hill. And they live there for a while, and we see the family kind of struggle. And also Charles seems to have this hope that things are pretty much the same in every area. Meaning that if he plants a crop, he's going to reap a crop. Well, in this book, he couldn't figure out why his neighbors were doing this and that, and it kind of turns out to be a real problem. They face a lot of troubles in this book, but they find a lot of good. Laura also ends up meeting Nellie, which, as we know from the TV series, is a kind of stuck-up little girl that thinks she's better than everybody else. So Laura is pretty much a tomboy, and she tends to help her dad with the work sometimes, and her mother, she makes the comment that they were American women and they were above doing men's work, and I just didn't like the way that was stated. So when Laura was, kind of, oh, I'm going to help Pa, I was really rooting for Laura on that. We also see Laura make some mistakes that almost ends up costing her life. And we see prairie fires and grasshoppers and all kinds of weird things that happen, that today, if you had a problem with insects, you just spray it with insecticide. And back then they didn't have all this. So I think it's a really dated book, but I also think that it's a very nice look into the past. So I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it, but I didn't love it. I've actually already finished the entire series, and this was not my favorite book of the series. So, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.